Okay, what's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call this executive work session meeting of the Mayor and Council to order. At the time of that, please rise. For a moment of silent prayer and of reflection, as we are all thinking about the victims and the families of people who were affected by the terrorist attacks in Israel. We're also thinking about the first responders, the people providing humanitarian aid, and as well as the United States military personnel that have been deployed to the area. Please salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please note the fire exits behind you into the main hallway, and to my right, your left, into the courtroom. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Milford have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall, and notices have been sent to the record in the Ridgely News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard the infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning, seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people, within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. This time, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Sanhusen. Here. Councilwoman Saraki Hurley. Present. Council President Duffy. Here. Councilman Grotzky. Here. Councilman Seymour.
Here.
Councilwoman Grant. Here. Mayor Petrino.
Before we start, I want to ask if I can get a motion to add an item to closed session tonight.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The subject will be Police Department personnel. Okay. First thing on the agenda tonight is our proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, when we reflect on the trends in breast cancer research, prevention, and treatment. And whereas according to the National Cancer Institute, almost 298,000 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and more than 43,000 will die of the disease in 2023. In addition, an estimated 2,800 men are expected to be diagnosed with breast cancer, and 530 will die from the disease this year. Whereas breast cancer is the most common type of non-skin cancer in women in the United States, accounting for 15% of all new cases, is second only to lung cancer and cause of cancer death in American women. Whereas being female and older in age are the main risk factors for breast cancer. And whereas regular screening and early detection, followed by timely treatment upon diagnosis, can significantly improve a patient's chance of survival. Whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to honor the courage and strength of all who are battling this terrible disease and remember loved ones whose lives have been affected by breast cancer, and to commend the skilled medical professionals and dedicated researchers who provide quality treatment and care to women and men across the country. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to unite all citizens in our community to prevent breast cancer deaths through increased education and regular screenings. Now therefore I, Mayor Michael Petrino, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2023 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In witness whereof, I am hereunto set my hand on this 11th day of October 2023. Just leave this here if anyone would like to see it. You're welcome.
Can I just go back one moment to the closed session? Kevin, I usually do a resolution when we're doing a closed session, so I'm going to add that as resolution 2023-230 to authorize the closed session. Yes.
And this was an emergency because of recent events, and it couldn't have been circulated in time to be on the formal agenda.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Next thing on the agenda is appointments. May I get a motion for Anthony Puccino, Johnny Puccino, and David McCall as junior firefighter auxiliaries.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I would like to thank and congratulate the three of them for their service to New Milford. And the fire department will keep them busy. Under unfinished business, may I get approval of the minutes from the September 27th, 2023 public and closed session meetings?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unopposed, one abstention. Someone's on vacation. Under new business, we have a couple of ordinance introductions tonight. The first one being 2023:35, and the clerk has the opportunity. I'll ask her to please read the ordinance.
Capital ordinance to appropriate the sum of $50,000 for the acquisition of a sport utility vehicle for the use of the police department in, by, and for the Borough of Milford in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the capital improvement fund of the borough.
Purpose of this ordinance is to appropriate funding for the acquisition of a sport utility vehicle for the use of the New Milford Police Department from the Borough Capital Improvement Fund. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion.
Second. Oh, give him.
All in favor?
Aye.
No. May I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilwoman Starkey Hurley.
That's a big one. Sorry.
Councilwoman Starkey Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
It's a first time thing, right?
It's a mark on the resume.
A long one.
The second one for introduction tonight is ordinance 2023:36, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I would ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Administration, thereby amending Section 2-19 entitled Police Department.
The purpose of this ordinance is to change the active period of the waiting list for promotion to the positions of Police Department Sergeant and Lieutenant from 2 years to 3 years. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilwoman Starkey Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
And the public hearing on this ordinance, as well as the previous one, will be October 23rd. Mayor, council, public meeting in the courtroom. Next one is 2023:37, and the clerk has the opportunity. I'd ask you to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Administration, to repeal Section 2-54B entitled Restrictions on Awarding of Contracts to Certain Business Entities.
The purpose of this ordinance is to repeal Section 2-54B of the ordinance, which is found to be inconsistent with PL 2023-30, the Elections Transparency Act in the state of New Jersey. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
So moved. Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Councilwoman Starkey Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
The public hearing on this ordinance will also be at our October 23rd meeting. The last one, oh, that was it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. This is the one.
The scanner.
Moving on to item number 1 is Film Ready Community. Kevin Keller.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the council. It was probably March when Councilwoman Sanusin attended a Film Ready seminar. Was it
April.
April?
Yeah, close.
And it took me some time to learn about it. I did circulate a proposed draft of a film-ready ordinance, which is one of the first steps to become film-ready certified. And the idea is if you have the certification, it makes it easier for a motion picture company, Netflix, Hulu, whatever have you, to identify spots in the borough to film, and it's a permitting process. But just passing the ordinance really isn't enough. There's a series of steps that we have to undertake. There is a goal to get this done. They're pushing people to get it done by August 30th, I think.
They have different cohorts, so they have technical assistance to support with the process.
Right, and, in calling down there, they said, we can still do it. We can get the next cohort coming up. But there's a process that we have to do in connection with the ordinance. And then Chris made a point, she goes, can we incorporate this into our existing ordinance? And I believe we can, rather than just strike it all out and update it. And this may be duplicative of what Lisa kind of conveyed at the meeting where she introduced the idea of it. But we need someone to attend a workshop, which Lisa's already done. The next is we really have to designate a liaison. And according to Film Ready, it's supposed to be someone employed by the borough with knowledge and skills of the ins and outs of the community. I don't see why that couldn't be a council person. And I don't believe it has to be an actual employee, but if there's a change in, obviously, the council person, then we would obviously have to make the according change. That
I
person.
nominate Silbra, so.
Well, you know what?
I don't know if he's looking for anything new.
Sil is the logical person to do it because he just has an encyclopedic knowledge of everything in Milford. The normal permit process that we have is, similar to what they've already want. There are some additional requirements in terms of insurance that we can update. But we also have to have some sort of a committee to identify film-ready locations. And I can put the ordinance on the books, but if we don't take those other steps, it's kind of meaningless. Because the whole idea is they're able to go to a certified community through New Jersey, identify where they want to film. We would have to engage
Historic.
It could be historic. There's a lot of different things we could look at, but they want 15 or more interesting and frequently requested film locations in our community. I don't know if we have that, but we could certainly come up with, 15 or more different sites. And then the other component of this, which is a little different than what we have, is they want to know local resources. And we have to list local resources, such as catering, food trucks, restaurants, lodging, construction supplies, car rental, office supplies, security services. Everything you would ordinarily expect to see if you have a movie set. The whole idea of it is from the top down to develop a system for production companies to tap into New Jersey, promote New Jersey, and in the process promote our local economy. And in order to do that, I think you need more than just the attorney saying, here's the ordinance update. You're going to have to get a committee going. The concept of it is it's promoting New Jersey, which originated, quite frankly, the film industry, as a resource for Hollywood, New York, wherever films are being made, Toronto, and making it easy to get in. Are they always going to come to New Milford? Probably not. I don't know that we have many films here. We have from time to time. We do have an ordinance on the books, but in order to get the certification to be compliant we have to take more steps. The first of which would be appointing a liaison that can be the go-between and make the connections between the inquiries and, the permit applicants, and the resident resources. But we have to identify the local resources. If we don't have the local resources, I would suggest it doesn't make sense necessarily to do this. I mean, if you're going to apply to, I'll say Hackensack, for example, they probably have more building trains, more other things. I don't think it needs to necessarily be limited to Milford for that.
That's
so
correct.
we could reach out to Paramus, so as long as we line up people that we can connect them with, in the event they're going to come in. The whole idea is to boost the economy. So that being said, if it's something the governing body wants to pursue, I think the first two steps would be designate an employee or councilperson or other volunteer to be the liaison. And the second, to form a committee for the purpose of exploring the local resources and identifying the areas in the community where we think they're, film ready. I would think historical, sport facilities, and any area of beauty that we have in town that they're interested in. I tried to find other communities that have kind of done it, but the first cohort just went in, so I wasn't able to I had hoped to kind of identify those and say, this is what they're looking for. But I'm a lawyer. You don't need me to do that.
Right.
Get it, somebody in the community to do, or have a committee that's going to do it, identify areas. So that they said it should be a cross-section of, volunteers. You can have historic, you can have environmental, you can have planning, or whatever disciplines that we have can serve on the committee. But the question, I guess, is number one, does the council still want to pursue that? And if so, we need these next couple of steps to fill in the important parts of it. But it does make sense. I read through it. I think it's a meritorious program, and it might boost, certainly the reputation of the town, and also the economy.
I mean, we've had a film ordinance on the books for at least 10 years at this point, and we have had people, film in town for different
We
reasons.
have some commercials, we have housewives.
Television,
yes.
Housewives?
I think this is a great
Property
opportunity.
brothers.
It's something, we're not spending a lot of money into, and could be a future investment for the town. It's great.
And also, this went in 01. The regs went in 01, so it's 22 years. And it's very similar in some ways. I mean, we're a little stricter, and I don't know that I would change that necessarily, because I think there's good reasons for us being stricter than it is. But, if it has a chilling effect, we can find that out from, the board. But ultimately, we can incorporate, they want to identify in the ordinance, for example, all the United Artists and all the different companies. And I think the intent of that, as I read it, and there's nothing on it, but I'm reading into it, they want to go and look at Milford and like, oh, look, we're right in here. They're aiming for us to come. So it's promoting it. And it's pretty up to date. It's Netflix, Hulu, every streaming service, and it's not just limited to big production companies. It can be small companies under $4 million. It can be Clerks, for example, could have qualified for this to come. But it's nice to say we're going to do it. I think to actually do it, you have to put the steps in place. I have a good understanding of it. I think it makes sense. It's not going to cost anything, but it's going to take some work.
Well, if I can weigh in here, I happen to have a film and television background, production background. So this is experience and expertise that I'm quite familiar with. So if there's a committee, I would love to be able to be of support in that.
There's volunteer for the committee right there.
Liaison.
I would imagine, Right. I imagine it's an ad hoc committee, it's something we would re-up.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the start, it could be an ad hoc, just to kind of identify.
Mhm.
You could, re-up it in January, but ultimately, you should have a permanent committee for it,
Right.
to deal with, things such as, carpentry, for example. Carpenters, there's going to be union considerations, people are going to come in, come out, and if you have a list of those resources, it may change. People go out of business, so the committee can kind of keep it fresh and current.
So it would be the Milford Film Ready Committee.
Correct.
I like the name.
Now, do we have to create that right away, or January reorg?
Well, I think to move ahead, I would suggest an ad hoc now to kind of explore interest, gauge volunteers, think about it, and, most importantly, identify locations, because if you don't have that, that's the whole purpose of it.
Is there a number of locations that they need or
They want 15.
specific?
Whatever we think would be attractive, really.
I think my
15 in
experience
Milford?
with working with the chair of the Historic Commission, Nancy Marizoni, she will be way into this.
Yeah.
Yes,
And she's a go-getter. She knows.
definitely.
She knows how to find things out.
Okay.
She would work. You two would work very well together.
Yes.
So I would
I was
say
going to
her
bring
being
her
a
up.
member would be a must.
Can we just appoint people without telling them? Say, oh, by the way, you watched our meeting last night.
By the way, Nancy, last night we had a
I think right away we should appoint Sil, and then
Well, rather than, the mayor can appoint an ad hoc committee, my suggestion would be to just, at this point, does the governing body want to go forward with this and pursue it or not? And if so, which it sounds like the governing body does, the mayor can appoint the committee and, put something on the website, call for volunteers, and reach out to folks.
Do we want to have a limit on the number, or do we want to make it open?
I think you make it open for now. It's going to be a lot of work. I don't think you want to say, we're only going to go with 5 now. If you want up to 40 people into it, I think from what I've seen in this, you can definitely have 40 people chasing things down to make this happen. We're going to need photographers. We're going to need people with background in the industry. And
The Board of Education.
yeah, I was just thinking that.
I mean, they have a
This is another
huge
resource,
drama
yeah.
department,
Right.
CRE, and they will be very helpful in resources, I
I
think.
mean, it's a great program. I'm sorry that I didn't get to it sooner, but, we're right at the start of the new year. It may be a good opportunity.
So to move forward, I could ask to start an ad hoc committee, and we don't have to, we just have to appoint one person to it, just to get us going.
I would appoint, obviously, we have someone volunteer to be the chair.
The liaison?
Right?
The liaison.
I'm not a chair, yeah. I don't think the council people.
They
have
should
to
appoint-
volunteer.
yeah.
Okay, liaison.
Yeah.
But, without getting hung up on, because I think the first thing is to just get something out so we can,
Do we need to follow through with the ordinance first? Revising the ordinance?
you already have an ordinance and I can do that.
Okay.
In terms of tweaking our existing to comply with what they have. But I really think you have to start working on it. The ordinance is meaningless if you don't have sites.
So let me make a motion to form an ad hoc committee, and have called the New Milford Film Ready Ad hoc Committee, with unlimited membership at this point, and naming Lisa St. Beeson as the liaison.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And in terms of the just in terms of the structure, the website gives you a checklist as to every single thing they need to do.
Oh.
So they can start running with it. As soon as you-
And as far as getting the photos for the locations, they will send someone from the commission out to the location. So it's just a matter of having someone to walk with them.
So Chris can put a notice up on the website, for a website, asking for volunteers?
I think it would make sense.
Yeah, we'll come up with language.
Yeah.
We go graphic.
I think we should definitely ask Phil.
Do I need to appoint at least one person to it right now?
Sure.
Can I get a motion to appoint Nancy Veritoni as the first member of the Milford Film Ready Committee?
So moved.
I need a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Possibly Nancy.
Sorry.
Really, Nancy, I know, I was gonna say, do we want to ask her first?
Opposed,
No,
no.
I'll tell her tomorrow. And
You want to try still
You'll
also?
ask.
still, I don't have to appoint.
No,
Not
he
to the
didn't.
committee.
I just asked him to advertise his duties, but you could ultimately appoint him to be the, I'm sorry, it's not, I have liaison in my head, but they have a different term for the coordinator. But essentially, it's a point of contact.
Right, if someone's coming into town, they can.
Which she would be called anyway, because
Right.
I had a question also. I believe that the county of Bergen has a department of, I don't know what it would be called, like filming or whatever. So when you said we doesn't allow to put together like a co-op,
I think you can.
I mean, if you find that we only can find 10 locations, or would we do a co-op with, say, Bergenfield, who has Cooper's Pond, or, you know, like that kind of.
It's okay, we have 15
I'm
locations.
sure you do.
Yeah, we don't have to, yeah, it's not
And I think the
it's not,
purpose of it is to just get each town on
And
the
is
map.
there
Is
any
to-
funding? Is there any funding at all?
That I don't know the answer to. That's required as what I can see, no.
required from us, you're asking?
No,
Or-
is there available from?
They're offering the technical support in guiding us, and guiding the municipalities through the process.
So how does that translate? What is technical support?
Just what
Time and
Lisa said,
administration
yeah,
and-
Like a person? Or?
Yes, there are people
Just-
there
They-
that
they
will
have a
answer
whole- there's a
questions.
whole
They have a
commission
whole
here.
commission.
They do.
Yes, they do,
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds good.
And they, although I have had trouble connecting because they're busy,
Right,
they do call back right away.
that's a good thing.
You know, so they were accessible. In terms of getting funding from them for this, I don't know that we need it, because really all you're doing is just making the connections and saying, look, these are film-ready sites,
True.
and we have an ordinance there, and then they're going to come in and, you know, hopefully pay the permit fee, which is, you know, not, the town is not going to make the money there, but I think the local economy, in terms of laborers, restaurants, caterers.
How would we pick the restaurants? Does the committee decide which restaurants, or we just give them a list? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
the
those
committee's going
are,
to
find that
like,
out.
go around to see
And ask who's
able
interested,
to-
yes.
Yeah, I don't think the governing body has to really.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the governing body. I'm just thinking, I don't want to leave out a restaurant,
No,
you know.
I think that's why you need a committee.
Yeah.
And I think the link with the Board of Ed, the library, like, you want to have somebody from there.
I'm good. It's going to be diverse. I'm going to people from all different disciplines and backgrounds. Some of them do education, of course. Is there anything else? Any other questions on film writing? Well,
Yeah, and then,
congratulations, Nancy. Thank you for your service.
thank you.
Continuing service, additional service.
Item number 2 is CDBG grant application.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention that we're, applications are open for community development for next year's round of funding. It's for, I'm not calling it fiscal year anymore, it's PY, I don't remember, program year, 24-25. As you may recall, there's a limitation to the area that's eligible for community development block grant funds, as it's funded through HUD, and our area has become a little bit smaller in recent years. And as of right now, the good news is we don't have necessarily anything in those areas in terms of sewer work or road repaving that needs to take place. So one of the suggestions that came up was to, because you can do accessible things in public buildings, and so we were going to look at revamping the bathrooms in the Borough Hall for accessibility. And I just wanted to find out if that was something that the mayor and council would be interested in pursuing, or if anybody had any other suggestions for something that they would like us to look at for this grant.
Aren't the bathrooms here in Far Hall already revamped?
We have
for accessibility.
We have one that is considered, but when we were talking about it, even that one, there's certain things that are not necessarily appropriate, but the others are not at all, completely not at all.
Okay, that makes sense.
Would that apply to just one project, you think? Just something like here? Are there any other?
Well, there
Library?
wasn't any other thing that had come up when I talked a little bit with the mayor. I talked with Vincent Sill to see if they had any ideas when, we talked about whether or not there were any roads that we needed to be done, and that was what we came up with.
We've
So-
done a lot of work in the area, and the area has shrunk, which is actually a good thing.
Yes.
Not for getting money for this type of grant, but in general, for the population, it's actually better that it has shrunk. And this building was right on the
Wise?
Okay. So then I'm going to move forward to get, an estimate put together and work with Millennium on that application.
Any other questions about that? If not, we're going to move on to item number 3, which is the 2024 Mayor and Council meeting dates that we were talking about last year.
Yes. A little bit of a challenge. So I sent something out that was a draft of the meeting dates that are proposed, starting with the one question we had, which we discussed at our last meeting, which was the reorg, which is going to take place on Wednesday, January 3rd. April's a little bit of a challenge because of the dates, the way Passover falls. It falls on a Monday, and it actually affects, which I didn't realize, the following Monday as well. And so the suggestion I had made was the 2nd and the 5th Monday in April, because the 4th was definitely out, but from what Ira tells me, the 5th is not any better. The mayor
I had a better suggestion.
had a suggestion, yes.
I suggest that we move to one meeting in April instead of trying to squeeze in 2.
I said,
All right?
We can do it, sure.
If we can do it, why not?
is that time of year, is it budget?
What can
Yes.
It is.
So I think it's going to it'll give the budget committee and the finance committee like an extra week or so before they address the council, which I think is good.
You wouldn't want to do it on Wednesday? Have the meetings on Wednesdays?
Well, the Wednesday in the first week of the 22nd doesn't work. The 24th is no good. And by the next week, it's basically the 1st of May, the Wednesday. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, one meeting. What will the date of the one meeting be?
well, right now I have it on the calendar as the 8th, but I will look at that and see whether or not we want to revisit. Was there any other conflicts that anybody noticed in the dates that were sent out?
No, but I do have one question. You have down here, meetings will begin at 7. Don't we usually start the reorg earlier than 7?
No.
It's
No.
always 7? Okay.
Yes.
July, and August, September, September. They're all good to me. Schedule updates. It has been challenging with the never-ending rain on Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh, no kidding. Way too much.
Okay, so Saturday, October 14th, is another attempt at Clean Communities Day. Sponsored by the Milford Clean Communities and the New Milford Environmental Energy Commission. It'll be from 9 to 12 at the New Milford DPW. For more information, you can go to the borough website. I guess around Friday, we're gonna
Yeah,
look
we're,
again and make a call whether or not we're gonna have it depending on what we're
Does it look good?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, October 15th is Fire Awareness Day, sponsored by the New Milford Fire Department. I still have the time as tentative 1 to 4. And it's at the Knightsfield parking lot, which is next to the ShopRite and the high school. For more information, you go to the borough website or the fire department Facebook page. They do have a rain date of October 22nd. Sunday, October 15th is also the second annual Family Olympics Day, sponsored by the New Milford Municipal Alliance. The time is from 9 to 12. It will be held at the YMCA. For more information, for our website or our Municipal Alliance Facebook page. Sunday, October 22nd is the annual Adam event, sponsored by the New Milford Municipal Alliance. The time is 6:30 p.m. The location is Hardcastle Pond. There will be information on the Borough of New Milford's website and the Municipal Alliance Facebook page. Thursday, October 26th is the rescheduled New Milford Lantern Tour and Storytelling, sponsored by the New Milford Historical Preservation Commission. It'll be at 7 o'clock at the French Huguenot Cemetery. Information is on the Borough website and in the Historic Preservation Commission's Facebook page. The Lantern Tour will start at 7 and be followed by spooky stories and Bergen County History Mysteries. Saturday, November 11th, is our annual Veterans Day service. It's sponsored by the New Milford Public Events Committee. It will take place at 11 a.m. on the front lawn of the Borough Hall. For more information, we'll have that up on the Borough website coming soon. I don't have a rescheduled date yet for the New Milford Fire Department's open house. I don't know if you've heard anything or
Yes, I have.
you got it?
There is no reschedule
Okay,
till next year.
got it.
They were not able to bring together all the vendors that they were going to be having that day, so they weren't available. So they're going to just do a bigger, better one.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Is there any other events that you think I missed or anything that's come up since the last meeting?
I have one to add. It's January 16th, which is a Tuesday. It's a save the date, the Environmental and Energy Commission.
2024.
Yes, I am in 2024.
Our next meeting, I'll update the calendar also with our December events.
What is it?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
January 16th, 2024 is the Environmental and Energy Commission is going to be doing the Environmental Resource Inventory Celebration. So this is going to be a family-friendly event held at the VFW. More information to come. So, and that's going to be at the VFW starting at 7.
7. So save the date. Okay. That's all I have on events.
Can I comment? May I comment on the previous event?
A previous event? When we go around. How's that?
There is one other date, that pumpkin,
Oh, yeah. What is that?
it is, I still got them all.
All the time.
Pumpkin
Yeah,
patch. I can't read my handwriting.
That's the rec pumpkin patch, right?
Yeah, do you see a pumpkin patch listed here? I
I
can't
didn't
read
see
it.
the flyer.
I don't either. I wish Sundays maybe.
Right, we can put it up.
Get it?
Knightsfield.
All right, as soon as we get the information,
No, I
we'll
don't
put it
have
up on our
that.
website. We'll
I
get
can't
the
see it
flyer,
somewhere.
we'll throw it on the website.
It'll be on the front lawn.
It has been over
It
by
has
the
been.
gazebo area.
Yeah.
It's usually,
Nice.
it's great. Kids love it. And I get candy there. I mean,
Well,
it's a win-win.
total plus.
Okay. Item number 5 is the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. First on my list, the deadline to register for the upcoming November 7th general election, to vote in the upcoming November 7th general election, is Tuesday, October 17th. The resolution to authorize the request for qualifications for the 2024 professional appointments is on tonight's agenda. The RFQ has been posted on the Borough website, and RFQs must be submitted by Wednesday, November 29th at noon. The townwide tax revaluation, which was ordered by the County Board of Taxation and was authorized by the Mayor and Council for tax year 2023, has been extended by the county to tax year 2025. Prior to the revaluation, the borough was required to update a tax map, which has been completed and is being reviewed by the state. Notices will be going out to residents regarding inspections early in 2024. The CyberGIF has awarded a contract to D2 Cybersecurity for security awareness training and phishing and for external vulnerability scanning. As this is being provided at no expense to the borough, we will be transitioning from our current cybersecurity training provider. Information on registration will be going out within the next few weeks, and training will be required for everyone on the borough's network. The state-administered best practices inventory has been released and must be submitted by November 3rd. I'm working with the CFO to complete it, and we'll have a report for the governing body at the next meeting. There has been a resignation at the DPW, and the director is reviewing resumes from the last round of hiring. And our next meeting of the Mayor Council is scheduled for Monday, October 23rd, so a week and a half from today. That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you. And I have the flyer. The Pick a Pumpkin Patch will be on the front lawn of the Borough Hall on October 21st at 10 a.m. So the event is from 10 to 12.
I'm sorry, what was that date again?
It is October 21st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Borough Hall lawn. That's on the, yes.
And they're also doing the decorating of the, are they including that this year?
It says, come on down, pick a pumpkin decorated here, or take it home.
Okay.
They will have pumpkin decorating supplies for everyone. Everyone has seen the resolution, so there are any that need to be pulled out for further discussion and or vote. And remember, we added 2023:230, which is to go into closed session. All right, with that, let's go around real quick. Just a couple of quick updates, and we're going to start with Councilwoman Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to tell you that the book sale at the library last weekend was a fabulous success. We had a ton of people coming. The weather did not deter anybody, and people went home very happy, so I'm glad to say that. Also, thank you to the borough. We extended the garage sale to Sunday because of the inclement weather on Saturday, which pleased everybody, and we had about 75 people sign up to participate, which is a record number. And so the library did well, the Friends of the Library did well, and will be able to continue to support the library in its mission to serve the borough. And so, thank you.
Excellent.
Good.
Council President Duffy.
Thanks, Mayor. Few things. The Health Department and the Board of Health will meet this week on Thursday. There was a flu clinic at the senior center for flu shots, and apparently it was really well received. A lot of people came out for it, and they do such a great job. They know everyone there. Now that I'm frequently going there to the senior center, I'm watching. Anyway, so that was very successful. So more to come after our meeting. As you can see, the DPW did a great job hanging the corn stalks, which the beautification committee comes out of their budget, and the ribbons are going up presently. So borough's looking very autumnal now. So thank you to all for that. And that's my report for now.
I just would like to add that for the first time in a number of years, Midbergen extended flu shot clinic for employees, which hasn't happened in a long time, so
That's true.
that was well received as well.
Yes. Great.
Excellent. Any questions for Randy?
But I will second her comment that the flu clinic was well run. I got my flu shot there, and they did a beautiful job.
Scary.
I'm a baby, but they were very nice. Yes.
Councilwoman Saraki Hurley.
There really isn't much to add to what was already discussed, and of course we're going on to the fourth date for our tour of the cemetery. Hopefully it'll be it. And that's really about it. Nothing else new. With events, we're just working on the tree lighting and the menorah, and that's it. And of course, Santa and Mrs. Claus. So that's being worked on in the tent on the field. So that's pretty much what we're doing right now.
I just want to mention that I will be available to volunteer my services for decoration for that event.
Thank
And
you.
I did save a lot of the decorations
Oh, good,
from
good,
last year that I do have.
I
So
think we need more,
when you're in your meeting, just mention.
I think
if
they
you
said they
would.
needed more lights going down, or was that you, Mayor, that said that we needed,
We all agreed that
you need more
we need
lights
to decorate more from the local parking lot down to
to the tent?
the entrance to the tent. But last year was the first year, so we learned. And
Right,
we're
right.
now we're gonna do it right. We're gonna get it right.
It was really well received. I have
Well, we
to
did it
say.
right. Now it's gonna be
Even
over.
better, yes. It was,
Yeah, I
very.
mean, I wasn't unfortunately there, but,
it was lovely.
I heard from everyone that it was fabulous, that the kids had a really lovely time.
I was pulling Randy over. She's trying to hang things from the top of the tent.
Oh,
They're like this.
just about
Look how you
reaching.
can see us now.
Yeah.
And that's about it, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilwoman Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental and Energy Commission is hoping that they can do the Clean Communities this weekend. They are encouraging people to dress appropriately for the weather unless it's not safe, if there's lightning or unusual amounts of rain, then it will be canceled. But if it's light drizzle, they're planning on holding the cleanup.
You're still grilling hot dogs?
We are still grilling hot dogs. Yeah. And then, and I wanted to thank the council for their support with the idea for the Film Ready New Jersey. So I'm really looking forward to being part of that project. So thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Councilman Seward probably has nothing to say.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't.
Nothing to
No,
say.
I want to say thank you to the mayor and council for your support for yesterday's domestic violence symposium. It's the first time we've tackled teen dating violence, and it was really a great feeling to feel that we were able to connect an important message with our youth to hopefully prevent some of our youth from getting into bad relationships in the first place. And I also want to thank, of course, our police department and our school district for their full partnership and collaboration, and all the agencies who came. We don't hear directly from the agencies and the individual panelists, but I hear from them, and they are eternally grateful for this opportunity. They put in a lot of time, not only at the symposium itself, but in preparation, hours and hours of preparation to pick a theme, pick a topic, pick talking points. And I have to say, I believe really the highlight of the evening was the survivor who shared her story. It was very touching, and I believe connected with a lot of people. So, thank you.
Will this be available on YouTube?
Yes, it already is.
already on
It was live streamed to the school district's YouTube channel, and will remain there indefinitely.
So it's on the school's YouTube channel?
Yes, and anyone who wants can watch it in full or in part at any time. There's obviously no charge or login required, and if anybody who is listening to our meeting wants more information about either the symposium or resources that are offered by our coalition against violence, I encourage people to reach out to me. I'm happy to put people in contact with the service providers. And a few people did today reach out to me and ask for specific contact information for some specific agencies. So, thank you.
This is really good. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone's help.
Anything else, sir?
Nope.
Councilman Grassi?
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing much other than the, excuse me, the planning board is still working on the master plan, and hopefully we'll have something in place come March.
Excellent.
That's it. Thank you.
The only thing I will add is that I just want to give a shout out to our police, our fire department, our OEM, and our DPW. Last couple of weekends, we have been on flood watch, and we, knocking on wood here, we have another storm coming up this weekend. The reservoirs are still very high, and when it gets high, it spills over, and, the wind gusts one way and something another way, and we can get a lot more rain. But they've been on top of everything and they're prepared, so I just want to thank all of them. doing that.
I just have one thing to add that I just remembered. Mr. Levine, who was a writer for, I believe it was, The Record, and as I said last month, he's putting together a booklet on New Milford, the history of New Milford. And just to put it out there, if anybody has old pictures of the town, Chris, are they making here the safe area for the pictures to come to?
No one's
Nancy
actually
did
talked
discuss
to me
that? Oh,
about it,
right.
but of course that's not a problem.
Yeah, I figured there'd be one location for people to come in with photos.
You should talk about Ryan, his tons.
Oh, yeah, he's on the commission, yeah.
I stopped in at the commission meeting, and he was there, and right now they're looking at original photos. That's the priority. So we are already setting up where there's a few collections out there that are original photos. Those are going to be looked at first. And then if there's a need for more pictures, we're going to do a call out and get some stuff. But they want to start with that first.
And they all will be returned, in case some people are concerned.
Right. And it's Images of America is the book. You've seen it in other towns.
Burgerfield,
They're all over.
They're all over.
the place. Yeah. Every bookstore, Barnesville, tons of towns. So we're hoping to join that. And I told them it has to be the best one there.
right.
At this time, can I get a motion to open up for public comment?
Someone.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, can you hear me in the back? If anyone is interested in any comments related to the Milford Borough, come on up, give us your name, and take it from there.
I think I'm all right.
Excellent. Seeing that there is no member of the public that wishes to speak, can I get a motion to close the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt resolutions 2023:223 and 2023:230?
So moved.
Second. What am I second?
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, we are going to be going into closed session. As soon as closed session is over, we will immediately adjourn the meeting with no action taken. So, thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Hopefully we can have some events on weekends again.
I'll give you this weekend, you said, so.
Motion to close.
Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Motion closed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm really eating a lot of candy here.